Dzień dobry Państwu, witam Państwa po kolejnym seansie 61. Krakowskiego Festiwalu Filmowego, coś czego nigdy nie utraciłam i bardzo się cieszę, ja się nazywam Krzysztof Kwiatkowski, jestem dziennikarzem, ale przede wszystkim bardzo się cieszę, że jest z nami nasza gościni, Marina Tomé, reżyserka filmu. Hello, Marina.
Hello, thanks for the invitation and for the film festival to be here. It's a pleasure.
I'm very glad that, well, that at least virtually we can see each other and talk. And just to start with the question, I'm wondering, do you think that in our world there is still place for free birds and people of free spirit?
Yeah, I think it's getting worse from this kind of people, because in the movie I discovered a lot of archivals from the 70s, 80s here in Brazil, and there is like a sensation of freedom in the music and these people and in everything. And now if you see like this even these artists here, musicians, they are like really pretty different. I think what the film tried to show us, it's about this journey of this woman who wants to be free and who lives this countryside that is really difficult here in Brazil, and came to São Paulo and met these crazy guys, psychedelic musicians. But I think we lost that. We have we don't have freedom, especially now in Brazil. We really don't have freedom, even to do our movies. They are trying to stop movies about things that they don't like. So we don't, I think we are passing through terrible moments. But Alzira, the main character of the film, she continually do that. She's like always doing different things. Now she's like a rock band leader, like playing bass. Like she starts playing bass like, I don't know, 5 years ago. So she's always like trying to create something to be free, always.
It was exactly this freedom what fascinated you in her when you met her, as I read, almost 15 years ago.
Yeah, because she's always, I think it's the way that she see life, because she transformed that in her music. But it's the way that she's an incredible mother, she's an incredible friend, amazing musician, composer, and she really raised her 5 kids alone here in São Paulo. Being a musician, this is completely crazy, because being a musician here in Brazil, it's super difficult to have your own life and everything. And she has this freedom. Her house is always like full of artists creating music. Everybody like goes to her house to propose music, to ask for help. She's always so creative in everything. And I was fascinated by her and by her family, because her daughters, they are musicians too, and the siblings that are musicians too. They are a really important family of artists here in Brazil, Espíndolas. They are really important here.
They're well known in Brazil, yes?
Yeah, the Espíndolas, yes, because she has a really important sister, who Tete Espíndola. She's in the film in a lot of different moments, and she wants a prize, I think in the 90s, a really national prize for her music and everything. So a lot of people know her sister, and her daughter is well known too, and she's not recognized like the way that I think she has to be. So it's important that we are going to show this movie in 2 nice festivals now in June here in Brazil. It's online, of course, because here in Brazil we are passing through terrible times, but it's nice that I think could like put her in this place, like having a film about her life, and everybody is going to be, a lot of people at least, going to see this film.
Yes, but you mentioned the whole family of artists, but it has all started with the generation of Alzira, although I know that in the film also the siblings of Alzira say that their mother was incredible art, well, everyday artist. But as I know, the region from where Alzira comes is one of the most patriarchal and most traditional and conservative region of Brazil. How do you explain that suddenly such a family that in which all the siblings became interested in music, poetry,
Yeah.
well, film also, but that's the later history. Where did it come from?
All of them, all they said it's about because of her mother, because of Alba, because she was completely free. She sing every day. She helped the woman who was like, I don't know, had like a violent occasion with a boyfriend or something. So she's completely like different from the countryside. I don't know why Alba was like this, and because all the siblings they completely experiment with everything. If you see this kind of archivals and images, it's not the kind of music of this place.
Mhm.
It's because this place is like has a beautiful folk music in Pantanal region, mixed it with like music from Uruguay and Paraguay because it's in the border of these countries. And so there is this folk music, but they do like a folk music with a lot of rock and roll shorts, and with like crazy dresses that one of them do create at this time. So one is poet, another the other one is musician, the other one is like visual artist. All family are like this, and they all say it's because of Alba, her, I don't know, her mother. And I don't
Something,
know,
something about her spirit, yeah?
her spirit. And I don't know if you remember when in the movie when you can hear it's her voice talking, I miss you guys, and you can see some images of circles. And when I found this material, I was impressive because I found like a lot of tapes that she just record for her sons, because one son, a lot of them moved from another city, so she not wrote letters, she just record these tapes, and she'd say like crazy things, super modern things, and sing a lot and talk a lot of about like feminist and about the woman and everything. And it's like I was really impressed about her mother. So after I heard her voice, the power of her voice, I understand, oh my God, this is Alba. This is her mother.
Well, and you mentioned that all the that her sons left that her sons left the village, but finally also Alzira left, and it's quite touching in this film that on one hand Alzira is very fond of the sense of community in her hometown. I mean, in her place where she was born. But on the other, it seems to me that it's Sao Paulo where she spread her wings.
Yeah, she always say that the roof like the like of her is in São Paulo, because I think here she could be everything that she wants.
Mm.
And it's difficult for her, because this is why the name of the film is What I've Never Lost,
Mhm.
because I think it's a journey with her to understand, because she always said, I'm not Alzira Spindola. She don't use this name
Mhm.
anymore. She just use Alzira E.
Mhm.
And because she doesn't like that she is just this artist from the countryside, and she lives here in Sao Paulo. I don't know, she moved in the 80s, so she really feel that. But at the same time, she completely has this, she's super attached to the countryside, to Mato Grosso do Sul. So this is why the film this is a part of one lyric of one of her songs, What I've Never Lost. And it's that, like, I said to her, let's do this movie and then let's come back to this place. Because, for example, the place that she mentioned that she used to live and she just ran away with her kids because of the husband, the violent husband and everything, she never come back. And we come back together to this film. So I just record some houses. We stayed like hours trying to find her house, but we didn't find it because the city changed completely. So I think it was important to her to say, no, you have a lot of things here. You have to come back. You have to see that again. And we discovered like 200 of items, like videos, musics, and we digitalized it, everything. So it was amazing because she started like listening to this music and like remember people from this place, remember a lot of things. And so when you see in the film that she is really touched by something, it's really because it's the first time that she's like listened to this music, or recording again a music from 40 years ago. It's 30 years ago at least. So it's really nice. I think it's a way to rediscover these connections, because sometimes this happened, right? My father and my mother came from the countryside. So my mother is the same. She never come back to to her city, and I never understand that. Like, I never understood why she. I always ask for my mother, can I go with you to the city? I never been there, and we never come back. So I think it's something that I have to inside me too, right?
But it's quite frequent that, you know, the young generation asks and looks more for history than the older one.
It's true. Yeah.
It also happens in Poland, especially that frequently that there are very harsh stories there. So, but and so you showed Alzira. I mean, you took Alzira to her place where she was brought up, and did Alzira also become your guide around her São Paulo?
Yeah, for sure. My São Paulo is almost Alzira's São Paulo now. It's funny because of the film, I always with her and always with her daughters and always, I don't know, with the musicians. And because I started photographing her 15 years ago. But because of the movie, I start like doing a lot of video clips and live projections in her concerts. So we are always working together. So I know all of their friends, all the family. So for sure, it's a good question. I love this question, for sure.
So it's probably this kind of, because honestly, when I saw the film, I spoke, for example, also with some people from selection committee of Krakow Film Festival. There was someone said how Almodovarian this person is. I mean, Alzira. And that's true that when I was watching for the second time before this conversation, that's true that there's something from Movida Madrileña, from Almodovar sense, I mean, Almodovar type of vibe.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I never thought about that. I remember in the first scene of the film that she said, "I don't like to dream."
Yeah,
This is so.
That for her, dreams are nightmares. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like. And when anybody talk about their dreams, this is so Alzira. Like, I cannot explain her. I just want to show her because it's not someone that you can explain. She always have this kind of like way of seeing life that is different. I don't know. You can comment of something about the film, for example, and she always like talking about the film in a way that I cannot see. She always has this like mind, like free mind. I think you're right. It's a free mind. I don't know. It's something, but it's nice that you talk about it.
Also, at the same time, you wouldn't expect from someone like her. I mean, as I saw in your documentary, it's all about mathematics. It was like, really?
It's true. Really? Yeah, this is why. And filming her is like always a surprise. Always. This is why this film was super difficult, because it's not something that, okay, now you're going to do an interview with your daughter and you're going to talk. It's something you have to you have to prepare for everything. Everything could happen. And she was really respectful with my way of seeing things. Really, she always said to me like, you have to do your film. I'm just like one person that you're doing the film. You have your art, you have a way of thinking, and I want to do that the way that you want. And but I said, I want to do that together with you. You are going to be like together filming, talking about that and discussing about things. And I don't want to do like talking heads. I just want to be with you, traveling, because we travel to a lot of places to these friends of her that they are musicians too, to listen to these tapes and old archivals and discuss that. And it's always a surprise, always a surprise.
But also there is this one moment when she said that, well, she feels like she's from Sao Paulo, that she belongs to Sao Paulo, and she lived in many different places in the city, but and she feels like a gypsy. But it's very easy to feel like a gypsy. It's gypsy if you're just, free spirit musician. But she had 5 kids, 5 children.
Yeah.
I mean,
How can you be?
it must have been also difficult life, no?
Yeah, it's difficult. And I really, I remember that it's one moment that she said, I'm always paying rent. I'm always, and I really live this moment, because in one part of the editing they took this off, and I said, no, I really like this phrase, because I don't want to talk. There is another moment in the astrologic map, and she said, yeah, and money, yeah, I don't have anything. And I prefer to talk about these things in this way, not to say, and well, you suffer a lot about this money thing and everything. It's difficult because I think, but they have a lot of sense of community. They are always helping each other. It's something that I swear to you, I don't see like in other families. They are always helping each other. And if you go to her house, it's beautiful. She has a lot of thousands of plants and beautiful flowers, like in the middle of São Paulo, like the so you enter in like a beautiful place, and they are so sweetie and creating music. I think she passed through a lot of difficult things, especially if the husbands in super, it's a super like difficult place in Brazil that she came through. And when she arrived in São Paulo,
You mean the domestic violence, yes?
yeah. This was in the countryside. So when she come back to, she went to São Paulo. She came to São Paulo. I think she really feel like that she can like be herself without so many afraid of everything, because of course in São Paulo we have a lot of violence too against women. We are one of the most terrible places for that in Brazil, like but not like the countryside. São Paulo, you have a lot of friends, you have a lot of connections, it's difficult. And for her, I think she passed through a really terrible moments because of that, because of the money, because of being a musician is not easy, because she has 5 kids. And but I don't know, it's something magic, because she's always changing something and creating something different, and a lot of things is happening with her. And I think now a lot of things is happening because she has this new movie about her. Like one famous singer recorded one album just about her, so to celebrate her, and she's famous here in Brazil. And she's playing bass in this rock band that is amazing. This rock band, everybody loves this rock band. So I think she's always creating
but
something.
The whole magic side, this incredible side of your film, still there is one of the most important subjects. There is is the position of women in Brazilian society, and like there is very concrete subject, that, for example, there was no laws against domestic violence, that yes, I mean, obviously she's speaking about the times of her youth, but this is the question, if so much, if really so much has changed.
I don't.
Mm.
I think what's said about the technology, that you have like your mobile phone, you can send them a text, and now you have Maria da Penha. It's the name of the law.
Mhm.
At this time, we don't have it. So we have a law now to protect women, but everybody knows that when you arrive, I have a lot of friends who pass for this. I never passed for this, but I have a lot of friends who passed for this and went to the police man, and they said, no, it's okay, don't worry, come back to your home. And said, no, I have a law here, I can do something. No, you cannot do, please go to. So it's something. Here in Brazil, the things are not so, you have the law, but doesn't matter the law. Like you have the law, you have a lot of actions, you have a lot of institutions, NGOs to help women. And now I have a good friend who works with that. And now because of the pandemics, it's getting worse than ever. It's something terrible, like what is a woman passing through. They are trying to do a national program to the institutions and NGOs, not the government, because they are not doing anything. They're trying to do with the hotels, because so the woman can send a message and someone pick up her and leave her in a hotel, and she can stay in like 15 days, trying to organize herself, trying to talk to someone of the family, not to come back to her home. But
That's what I mean, because it's obviously incredible that there are women like Alzira who has struggled for their whole life for independence, for freedom, but it's something that should be given, as granted.
yeah, I think she fight for that now every day, even when she's like a rock band leader, because you don't see like a woman with 60s, in her 60s, like a rock band leader playing bass in Brazil. You don't have too much musicians. You have like singers. We are really, but like musicians, composers, like plays some instruments, and she's really good in the guitar and in the bass. So she really is. It's nice. I think a nice character to represent this. Like how could you, like how can you? I think she can inspire people.
And
This
I
is
was
why,
because
yeah.
a part of subject of women's rights, you didn't. There's no politics in the film at all. I mean, obviously, showing such a character is very political, but there is no, for example, political background of different times. That was your choice. I mean, obviously, it was, but
Yeah, this and I have to, for example, my next film probably is going to be about breast cancer, because I have this experience, and I think I have to talk about that. And there is a lot of ways of talking about that. And I'm trying to write something fictional with documentary, and I'm not going to talk specifically about that. I'm going to talk about the experience of these people, because I think it's more powerful. It's the way that I see life. But when I see like Alzira, just Alzira in her life with her friends, their daughter discovering her music from 30 years ago, creating something new, being a rock band leader, talking with her friend about the sexuality of a woman of 60 and 70. I never heard that in a movie. So I want to show the power of the woman. And I know maybe some people think, oh, you have to show, but I don't know, it's my choice, because I think this can inspire us, because we see a lot of these numbers in the journal and the newspapers and everything, but we don't see the woman who just like could fight for against that. And so I want to show this to inspire women like me. I'm trying to be like doing films, and it's not easy because I'm in Brazil. Do you know how many is 3% of the films released commercially in Brazil is directed by women. 3%. So for me, being in a festival like Krakow, as a director talking about another woman, it's amazing, because it's always a director. If she's a woman, it's talking about a man, a great musician. So for me, it was like, this is my goal, right? To show.
Sorry that
people.
I'm a man. I mean, we have incredible moderators, female moderators. We just,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I've always, so now I'm saying that, sorry that it's moderated by a man, but
No,
we have incredible
no,
female
please, no.
moderators too. And I've always worked in a newspaper
I'm
devoted
sorry.
to gender equality. No, you have a.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not talking about you.
I know, I'm joking.
I'm saying that for me, it's super important.
I understand, yes.
Yeah.
And it's
super
great.
important.
But also, you know who I thought about? I mean, who? That's not a real person, but I thought about the character portrayed by Sonia Braga in Aquarius by Kleber Mendonça Filho, this type of strong senior woman who are just fed up with men telling them, man and system telling them what to do.
Yeah, it's perfect. I love this movie. And really, she remember that she had breast cancer, and they don't talk about that. It's just in the scene of they are having sex, and you realize that she like took off. So it's this kind of thing. This is so beautiful. This movie is amazing, right? It's so beautiful. It's a way of talking about that, but without talking about numbers and everything. It's like someone that you respect and you like, wow, this woman is amazing. So if she survived, I can survive too, right? I don't know. It's something that's inspired me.
Yeah, so there is absolutely, this, I believe from what I see from abroad, that there is this type of spirit of Brazilian woman just, wanting to be free.
Yeah, it's true.
So I'm sorry for this question, but I have to ask, but how such a person as Alzira feels now in the country run by Jair Bolsonaro?
I think we are all really sad. I think we passed through the moment that we are angry. And yesterday we have a lot of manifestations in all around the country trying to try to have the impeachment, what is almost impossible. But we have like we had yesterday a lot of movementations in a lot of countries. I think Alzira is a survival, even that. She's always angry about that. She always talk about that. She reads a lot about Bolsonaro. She knows all the news. She's not like, I'm disconnected. No, when the pandemic started, she didn't she stopped to play guitar. I think this never happened. She started playing guitar for a while, for some months, 1 year, I don't know, because she was really sad about everything. But now she is I don't know, she's like doing she's going to do a concert for a film festival here in Brazil because of the movie. She's creating again, she's creating a lot of music. She's creating another concert, another album. So I think she needed 1 year of being really sad about this Bolsonaro situation, because it's difficult. The art here is just granted by the government. We just have grants, and you have to apply, and there's thousands of people, and it's always not so much money. And then Bolsonaro make everything to against the musicians and artists, everything. We don't have grants anymore. We don't have any audiovisual we used to have a lot before Bolsonaro. You were doing well in cinema, for example, in audiovisual sector, and after him everything stopped. So I think Alzira had 1 year of being really sad with the situation, and now she's fighting again. Now she's back
with new energy.
Yeah, new energy, completely better than ever.
That's great to hear. And I hope, well, I hope for the better world. What can I say more?
Yeah,
Of
yeah.
Brazil and Poland, and
It was a pleasure. I really like your questions. Really
thank you so
nice.
much. I
Nice
really
to
like your
talk to
thing.
you.
And thank you so much, and thanks to our audience, which we can see at our homes, but they are there.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything.